Bloody builder. I told him to leave me a bigger gap between this marble and this glass. But you know, he did what he did, and I've got this gap, and it's too narrow to get any kind of brush down. I could send Terry down. Ah! Yeah, but Mikey, you still have to be able to get your arm in to use me as a sponge. Yeah, well that's not going to work either. I'll go see if they got anything at the supermarket. Alright. Well, here we are in the cleaning section of my local supermarket. Let's take a look on the shelves, see what they got. Alright, well there's a huge mop. There's a small brush. There's some bottle brushes. There's some EK brushes, but nothing that's small enough to fit in that gap. Lobster. The favourite food of the unemployed. Hey Terry. I've got me an idea. Oh yeah? You thinking what I'm thinking, Mikey? I bloody well am, Terry. Just like 99% of life's problems, let's use Rhino. We're going to need a stick, and we're going to need a sponge, and how are we going to attach this stick to that sponge? How about a lobster claw? Here's one I modelled up earlier. The spiky bits will hold the sponge in place. Now to attach the claw to the stick, we got these other bits. Now if we open that up in Luban, generate the G-code. Oh, that's a bit shit. What, is that all it's going to do? Just these sort of wavy lines? Oh, well, fuck that. Let's go to Grasshopper. Now we know the CNC bit we're going to use is a diameter of 3.175. So we're going to offset by half of that. Same for this one. And for this one, it actually goes in ways. Let's do the big one first. So what I have here is a bit of C#. It basically just goes through and it converts those curves into G-code. And this little one here, that shows you the toolpath with the radius. Okay, but what's that happening relative to? Because this is just a random place in space, so we're going to need to align it to the machine itself. So what I do is I have a bounding box curve, and I have a point. And what I've done is I've exported that, so that's a raw G-code of just those points. And then I've got the header and the footer come from one of the other CNC files that I exported from Luban. For the other one, we have this entwine here. Now the order matters. We're going to want to cut the inner curves first, because if we cut the outer curves, then the thing's going to start flipping off because the CNC bit itself could knock it out of position. So this entwine thing maintains the order. Otherwise it always goes from top to bottom. Mark's getting me to do this bit because he's worried about the microplastics making him infertile. Here we are in the bathroom that I designed and built in my house. And we have the pieces ready to assemble. So they just slot in like that. Bit of a tight fit, but that means that we don't need any glue. And now we just get this stick, which is a found object. And now we get the sponge. On it goes. What do you think, Tango? What do you think, Terry? That's nice and clean. I've designed a useful new product. I know Kelly from my yoga class who works at WSP said she wanted one. Problem is that it's about economies of scale. If I was going to sit there in the garage making it, it might take me like an hour, and what can I sell it for, like $10? It's not worth it. I'm going to need to outsource this to some slaves in the third world.
Make the U.S. the world's manufacturing superpower, and that is exactly what President Trump has sought out to do.
Sorry, an emerging economy.